Dear Teddy, I never disowned you. I never not took your call or ignored you if I saw you, son.
Wish he could have come out here and seen me play out here, but I feel like that definitely gave me the drive and wanting to continue to play on so he can see me play on the field at one time.
Things don't always work in our favor. However, since I knew the consequences of my actions, I must man up and take it. I'm sorry.
Theodore Marquise Williamson was born May 29, 1995, known by his family and friends as Teddy.
He started playing football the first year he could. I actually took him to most of his practices, sat through the practices with him. I remember him being eager to run the ball and eager to play, and he just wanted to be part of something bigger, and he wanted to be part of a winning team.
When I would come off the field, he was a dad for sure. He would tell me if I was doing anything good. He would let me know if I was doing anything wrong. And as I get older now, I realize that he just had my best interest in his heart and he wanted me to be the best that I could be. 402 Hearn Avenue is where I grew up. It's in Ferguson, Missouri. And from what I can remember, this was one of the better times in my life where I had a lot of fun and learned a lot about myself growing up. My dad actually let me sit on his lap and steer going down the street. And as we approached that street, he told me to turn left. No, he told me to turn right, and I actually tried to turn the car left. And then from there, he moved me back to the passenger seat.
When Teddy was 7 years old, his father, Ted Williamson Sr., was arrested and placed behind bars.
I was involved in a drug trafficking ring, so it's basically just involved with the wrong people. I don't think that I was providing as comfortable a life with my supplemental income.
Released when Teddy was 9 years old, Ted remained free until the summer of 2009.
I honestly always kind of knew something was going on, but I was always too young and I didn't feel like it was my place to speak up about it. I remember him picking me up from school one day, and there was just like an awkward silence for a while, and then he finally broke the news that he would have to go away again, and he made a mistake and he was sorry, and wanted me to remain focused and be a man of the family and continue doing positive things the way that I was doing.
Him not having a dad, I guess, he lost his protection, he lost his safety net. It just forced him to grow up quicker. I let them down, I let myself down, and it wasn't a day that went by that I didn't think about those things. Just basically, just losing my family was my lowest point. Yeah.
Sentenced now for a second time, the only communication with his family for the next 6 years would be limited phone calls and handwritten letters.
In the earlier years, there were probably the least letters exchanged. Myself being upset at the situation and kind of not wanting to face reality that he was gone.
I guess it was a lot of resentment and bitterness that was going on at the time. It probably was a lot of misunderstood things on his part as far as I was concerned. So it was a period where we didn't talk for a while.
that was when I used football the most to release a lot of stress and a lot of anger.
As team captain and an all-conference running back, Teddy tallied over 2,500 career all-purpose yards at Fort Zumwalt West High.
I definitely remember his growth from freshman year to senior year. Working out in weight room to going in practice to it translating on the field. He works hard. He doesn't quit.
Being able to have the game of football has definitely saved me from a lot of things, a lot of trouble that I could have gotten in if I didn't have anywhere else to channel the feelings that I have.
On June 29, 2012, Teddy signed his national letter of intent, accepting a full-ride scholarship to play football at Ball State University. But with his father still in prison and his family separated, his life remained unstable.
If it was getting unbearable, just come out here, and sometimes you can let out a scream and nobody will look at you weird, or you can just sit out here and just embrace it all and think about everything that you've been through and where you want to go. Not having my dad around and going through everything that I was going through, and not really being able to talk to him and express and get advice from him when I wanted was a pretty tough time during those years. My mom definitely worked very hard and did everything she could to provide for me and make sure that I had everything I wanted. But just that father-son relationship, just having that, I felt like would have meant a lot. Things that football helped me do is a way to express myself. I used to suppress a lot of things and just always tell myself that I was okay because I didn't think it was cool to vent to anyone, or I would just keep everything to myself. And coming up here, like, it's just clear, it's open. You can see for miles, you can gather your thoughts.
With his father still in prison, Teddy graduated from high school a semester early and enrolled at Ball State in 2013.
Teddy Williamson.
2 years later, in May of 2015, Ted was released from prison. Not seeing his son play football in person for 6 years, that fall, Ted made the 300-mile trip to Muncie during Teddy's junior year.
I remember coming out for warm-ups, and I looked up in the stands, and he gave me a head nod, and pretty cool just to see him up there and see him smiling and see him being proud of me being on the field.
That was a really big day for me because I had missed his whole high school years.
Look at you. As the two repair their relationship as father and son, Ted has been present for the remainder of Teddy's college career. Since his release, Ted opened his own towing company in Ferguson and now buys, repairs, and sells used cars.
Where he is today is, believe it or not, a representation that nothing can break you.
I think the time that I did do sculpted me and gave me the drive to do what I'm doing now and to be successful, from here on out.
We both kind of have the mindset that we want to move forward and not look back and reflect on things that happened in the past because you can't change them.
I have apologized, yeah. I probably could go further and continue to do it a lot more often, but I think it's understood. I think he knows that, hey, I messed up.
There's nothing we can do about it. It happened. You move on, and you continue to be positive and continue to focus on the future.
Teddy finished his career as a team captain and voted the team's most inspirational player. He graduates with a degree in finance. His plan is to return to Ferguson and work alongside his father.
I think he has the whole world in front of him. All the time I just brag about him just being in the best position possible as a 21-year-old. I just want him to know I love him, and I do anything I can to keep him on the right track.
He has had to overcome a lot in life, and he didn't let it break him. And I'm definitely proud of the young man that he's become.
Like, a lot of people wonder why I smile all the time, and I used to get jokes for smiling all the time, but I really just smile because I've seen and been through so much in my life that literally nothing can bring me down anymore.
Well, now you know what I did extra was not smart. I respect all your feelings and concerns you expressed. Love, Dad.